Hey, what's up? I'm Christopher Chaos, and welcome to Chaos Live. Really, Southern Sun? Right off the bat, huh? All right, well, thank you very much, Southern Sun, right off the bat with a hello, I'm here at the stream, and you're going to give a super chat. So, awesome. Very much. Welcome to, I should probably switch over to that so you guys, oh, the chat's not working. It's going to be tragic. I'm going to have to do some on-the-fly reconfiguration to get the chat working. So, what's up? My name is Christopher Chaos. If you aren't familiar with that, we are on the fly going to attempt to fix this dang chat since apparently it's not showing up properly over here on the live stream. And we can't have that. We cannot have that at all. So, let's fix that on the fly. I think pretty sure I can do it on the fly. But welcome. We're talking about a couple different things in the live stream. One of them being some of these topics over here that we'll chit-chat about. Things like the government shutdown, because that's a hot topic right now. Did this work? That fixed it. Okay, we fixed the chat. We can't have that. We gotta have the chat. All right, cool. So, yeah, so that's one of the things we'll talk about is the shutdown. What else was there? We are going to talk about, I have a new show, starts tomorrow, that will be on this channel. So hopefully you guys check that out. It'll be cool. I'm excited about that. Talk about the next video that I'm going to record. I haven't recorded yet, but I already know what the next video is going to be that I'll work on and work on that. And then we'll do some questions and answers. If you're new to this, basically, if you leave some questions in the live chat, then I'll try to get to them. Sometimes it goes pretty crazy and I miss it. It's nothing personal. You can multiple times leave your question. Hopefully I see it on one of the times. If not, I'm sorry and I apologize in advance. But there's always the option too of leaving your question like after this is processed, after the live event's over and you're watching this afterhand, or your question didn't get answered, then you can always go and leave that question in the processed video and hopefully I can chat, or we can also go through and do kind of a thing that I do on some of the videos where I will do like a featured question, and we'll get down to this question a little bit later. This was a featured question from the last one, and we'll talk about that a little bit as well with kind of how programs work for spouses and all that kind of fun stuff. So that'll be some of the stuff that we talk about today in this little live stream, this Chaos Live, plus hang out with all you awesome people, as I always love to do. So, what do we have in the chat? I want to give a shout out, Jay Urban. If you're still in here, you were in there just before we started. So thank you for being one of the first ones to join. Same with Southern Sun, the gamer's new friend. We got Fire Fang Red. So shout out to you guys for being some of the first ones kind of joining in on this live stream today for this January 21st. By the way, side note, I don't usually like to draw attention to that, but yesterday was my birthday. I'm 1 year older, sadly. It's a bummer. Everybody gets old, I guess, but yesterday was my birthday, and thankfully it was on a Saturday. Normally I take like the day off from work, but let's get to some questions, and we'll talk about some of this stuff. We got the gamer's new friend. We don't need a paycheck. So one of the things that's kind of related to this guy over here, the government shutdown, I did a video on it and everything. What's up, lead the team, or, you know, awesome. Thank you for joining that, Mike. You know, I don't want to shout out real names, but so what's up, Mike? But yeah, but back to the topic I was going to talk about with the government shutdown. I know you see a question in there, you know, we don't need paychecks, you know, because potentially soldiers could be having delay in receiving their paychecks. Now, the last time they did a government shutdown, they did do like a bill to kind of fix that, so that way soldiers didn't have a gap in it. I don't believe they've done that just yet, but they can do that where they do a special bill just for funding the military. That way the soldiers get paid on time, and that's what they did the last government shutdown. So there was, I think, still a little bit of a delay because I don't know of how the processing system worked, but if they do that, then there won't be a delay in soldiers' paychecks, maybe a day or two. But if they do that bill, which I think they've talked about, I did see a video that one of my friends shared on Facebook where some lady one of the senators or whatever in Congress or whatever wanted to go ahead and do that bill now, like immediately when they were getting ready to know that the shutdown was coming, to go ahead and pass this bill so that soldiers get passed on time. And then there was some guy, one of the other Congress guys, objected to it and said that they would rather wait and see, you know, if they're gonna be able to fix this sooner and then not have to, you know, do an extra bill the soldiers on time. So I don't know, it was kind of crazy, but that's always something that could happen, is they could always do that bill to fix it so that way soldiers still get paid on time. But until the government shutdown's done, things like the commissary are going to be closed and all that kind of crazy stuff. So let's see. We got how does the shutdown affect people joining the military and or being in basic or AIT? So that's also a good question. I had someone that comes from Southern Sun, right? Yeah, it comes from Southern Sun. I had someone ask that question on that video. If you haven't seen that video after this live stream, you can go check out. I have a video on the government shutdown. And I had to research a little bit. So I was trying to find out if MEPS would still be open, because that's going to be a big thing. There was a guy in the comments that was asking if MEPS was going to be still open or not, because he was reporting to MEPS like the next week. And I went and I did a little research. The way I had to kind of figure it out was I just started kind of searching Facebook for MEPS stations, like Facebook pages. All the ones I could find, nobody was saying anything about whether they were shut down or they weren't shut down. I would imagine if they were going to be shut down, they might post about that on their Facebook, because they were active on their Facebook. So it wasn't like this was an inactive Facebook account that they were running. They had an active Facebook account, so they were posting stuff about things going on at the MEP stations, and they didn't post whether there was or not. All right, live stream is jacking up. Someone tell me, what was the last thing I was talking about before the live stream had to rebuffer? This damn thing. I had to switch to, I was messing with the internet earlier. Someone in the chat can let me know, what's the last thing you guys heard before the internet jacked up my live stream? But so MEPS will be open. I don't know where I left off at before my stream kind of jacked up on you guys. I just happened to look over and see that it was being jacked up. Yeah, maybe. I see lead the team saying that maybe the internet is saying screw it too, and they're going to do a shutdown as well. I don't know what the heck the deal is. So MEPS Facebook page. Okay, cool. Thanks, BitExpert. So yeah, MEPS Facebook pages. You can always check them, search for them, and see if they're saying anything about the shutdowns. But there was one that I saw that said that they were going to still be open and everything. So that's apparently a thing. So they'll still be open. MEPS will still be open. Recruiters fall into the same category as soldiers, so they will still be open, doing recruiting stuff at the recruiting stations. So you should still be able to do all that in processing. The only thing I don't know about is like soldiers who are PCSing and moving, and also going TDY for schooling and everything like that. They're kind of on hold as far as whether or not they are going to, go to their schooling and also get all their moving done. So I don't know how the transportation part works for soldiers that go and are going to be going to like basic training or whatever. I don't know if their transportation's on hold or if transportation's still good. So I don't know how that part kind of works. So just kind of that part, maybe take a little bit extra effort for someone to like look into if you are leaving soon to go to MEPS or whatever. So just kind of be aware of that. But Easton 18, I'm here. It's been a while since I've been on. Well, thank you, Easton 18. Hopefully we don't have too many internet issues with the government shutdown. The government trying to shut me down. I think that's what it is. Maybe the government's just trying to shut me down. Thanks for the happy birthday stuff from all you awesome people in the chat saying happy birthday to me. Al, what's up? See you in there. John Brown, thank you. And why is it called a government shutdown? Not sure if I know completely the answer as to why it's called a government shutdown. I mean, essentially, it sounds misleading. Like some people hear government shutdown and they think that, oh, well, now there is no government in the United States. And then people freak out. But that's not the case. It doesn't mean that there's no government. Essentially, like usually when there's a government shutdown, it's because they have like bills to pass that, regarding like budgets and stuff. And I think that, if they don't come to the agreement, then they go and have to go to the government shutdown. I don't know why they call it a government shutdown, though, because it's not really shutting down the government. It's shutting down parts of the government for, I don't know. It's complicated. But yeah, it's not like it sounds. It's not like completely shut down of the government. Essentially, they just go and, get all crazy. So, what else we got? bro, you need a hot pink backdrop, I think I would really bring out your eyes. Maybe it would. I have several different backgrounds that I could have used. I could have used a white one. I could use a green one. Green would look weird. And then I have like this grayish kind of backdrop that I could have used. But the black one just, I don't know. I like black. Black is cool. So I stick with black. I don't have a hot pink one, so I can't use a hot pink one. Lead the team. MEPS is for those of you who may not be familiar with the term MEPS, military, I can't think of what it stands for. If someone knows in the chat what MEPS stands for, I forget what it stands for. But essentially, it's kind of an in-processing place. You go to MEPS when you're about to take off to go to basic training. You also do it prior to. That way you can get all the physicals and stuff done. So you kind of go to MEPS usually twice, essentially, sometimes. For some cases, not always. But at MEPS, they do the physicals. They'll do all sorts of stuff to kind of process you into going into the military. And then from there, you take off and go to basic training. So that's essentially what MEPS is. I forget what it stands for. If someone knows, they can leave it in the chat. And then we got Ghost Drew. Hey, Chris, can you support a fellow veteran? Sure. I support you. I don't know what you mean. So, yeah, and then I see someone says, no, I did notice about the subs. I got the live sub thing over here. So you got, 5,920, and then all of a sudden it went down to 14, now to 15. But I would imagine people joining the live stream sees that, hey, there's a live counter on there. I want to see how that affects it. But also, the thing with, like, subscribers. So 9,000 or 5,915 subscribers, probably only a certain percentage of that are actual legitimate subscribers. Some of those people are bots. Some of those people are people thinking that if I subscribe to this person's channel, hey, one more person who's awesome. But some of those are people that subscribe to your channel thinking that you're going to subscribe back, which is bad. You don't want to do sub for subs. That's not what you want in life. So some people do that and they subscribe, and then after a while, if you haven't subscribed to them, then they unsubscribe. And then people trying to use the algorithm thinking that if they subscribe to all these channels, then hopefully that boosts them in rankings so that they'll come up in recommended channels for other people, and then people will subscribe to them, and then after a while unsubscribe. So subscribers fluctuate because there are a lot of people that, are just fake subscribers, not real subscribers. So I don't really believe that I have 5,916 now legitimate subscribers. I don't know what the legitimate one is, but all of you, if you're in this chat and you're in this live stream and you are subscribed to it, then I would imagine that you are a legitimate subscriber. And I thank you very much for that. But it's kind of the matter of it. So I don't know if there was a bunch of people that all of a sudden, saw that I was live and then were like, why am I subscribed to this guy? And then like bailed out. I don't know. The other thing I wonder too is a lot of my subscribers come from that video where I explain military rank, Army rank, the enlisted rank anyways, for privates and sergeants and sergeant majors and all that stuff like that. So a lot of subscribers come from that. And then I don't think they realize like what else is on the channel. So maybe they subscribe and then they see some other content, maybe they're not interested in it, and then they unsubscribe. So I prefer people, look at my channel, make sure that it's content you're interested in, and then subscribe. That's also why sub for sub is bad. Just subscribing to people just to be nice isn't what I want, and shouldn't be what other people would want, because you want people subscribed that are actually interested in your content, because that's more important. Important to me is people that like my content, not how many subscribers I have. Subscribers have the perks, but it's very important more to have interesting content that you guys like. So that's what I'm more important to you guys. So lead the team. I'm catching up on the chat. I'm a little bit behind on the chat, but there's still a government. You still have to file taxes. There's still rules. Yeah, exactly. You still have stuff you have to do during a government shutdown. It's not like you can just run free and be all free and all that stuff. So doesn't it drop the economy? That's a question comes from Recon Mox. I believe so. I'm really bad with politics, so definitely don't ask me political related questions, because I'm not the person you want to consult for political kind of stuff. But yes, essentially, I believe it does have some effect on the economy, because now there's going to be, people who are out of jobs temporarily while they work for the government, and they are sucking and hurting on life because they are not going to be receiving a paycheck, and all sorts of other stuff that's going to be closed down. A real bad one, like during that last shutdown, in my video, I talk about how commissaries in the stateside, the United States, will shut down because they are deemed not essential, because soldiers could still go off base to go to Walmart to get groceries from there. But the thing that really hurts is while the commissary shut down. So like right now on Fort Carson and probably in several other places in the Army in the United States, commissaries are going to be shut down. And they have meat and they have other products inside their commissary that has an expiration date. And that stuff expires and goes bad. So last time I remember hearing all about it, how the commissary on Fort Carson, because of the shutdown that happened the last time in 2013, they had a lot of meat and everything they had to get rid of. They just had to dump it because it had gone bad during the shutdown. And that really sucks. So that part really, really hurts it. You know, I wish there was a better way to take care of it where they could, I don't know, sell it before. I don't know. I guess there's no good answer that I could think of that you could really do. But, you know, essentially they have to shut down and everything like that. And that really screws up, you know, all that food that, you know, goes bad and everything inside the commissary. So that part really sucks. So yeah, in some ways, you know, other than just the economy, there's other stuff that really hurt from that. So military entrance processing, and that sounds right for MEPS maybe. Yeah. So there you go, military entrance processing station. So stuff. Okay, I see that lead the team had stuff on the end. So that's crazy. So and then Bit Expert 3 and Fire Fang Red, legit subscribers. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate every one of you guys. It doesn't matter if I had 5 subscribers or, you know, 5 billion subscribers. It doesn't matter. As long as there's people to entertain, then I'm cool with it. I mean, preferably, obviously you want higher subscribers because there's a better chance of getting your content in front of people. But either way, I enjoy doing this stuff. That's, I think, how you can really tell if you're really passionate about this. Like, my channel didn't start getting more viewers like this until October of last year. But prior to that, you know, I would do like vlogs and I would do little videos here and there. And those videos, I'd be excited when I got like 20 views on those videos. And it would be discouraging, sure. I'm not going to lie. I'd be discouraged from it. And you would want to quit. And there was times that I would quit for a little bit. But the thing is I didn't care how many views there were. I missed it. I missed creating the content and uploading it, even 4 or 5 people, for 100 people, or for whatever it was. I missed doing it. And I feel that's how you can tell when you're really passionate about it. If it doesn't matter how many people are watching it, how many people see it, you just want to make the stuff, even if it's for only a couple people. So I would always miss it when I would stop creating content. Just subbed a fan of my live, suggest I check you out, fellow veteran here as well. Cool. Awesome. J Green Bomb 85. So awesome. Lead the team. Too legit to quit. Awesome. And then we got Fort Irwin for life. I tried, so I like, well, some parts of Fort Irwin I like. I actually tried to get stationed for Fort Irwin because I'm from California. And when I was in the Army, I tried to re-enlist for Fort Irwin. They didn't have any slots for me. So I couldn't go to Fort Irwin, and that was a bummer. I was disappointed about that. And then I tried Fort Huachuca, and I couldn't get Fort Huachuca, and then I ended up coming to Fort Carson, which I love Fort Carson. Fort Carson's great. But Fort Irwin, the only thing that would really be horrible about Fort Irwin is it's just so far trying to get off post. It takes like, what, like half hour, 45 minutes, depending on if you're speeding or not speeding, to get off base alone because there's so much training grounds that's covered. Plus you're rotating back and forth between training soldiers and not training soldiers and all sorts of craziness and everything. So I still have to do, I have a video of the top 5 best places to be stationed. And I still have to do a video on the 5 worst places to be stationed. As much as I don't like putting it on there, but I might have to put Fort Irwin, because from a lot of people that I've talked to, they say that, you know, it really is exhausting back and forth between training. And the fact that when you try to go off post to go do stuff, it takes like 45 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever just to get to Barstow. And so I don't know. I mean, I can't, because I don't really judge those videos on like the best ones or the worst ones based on the units, because units can fluctuate. You can be in the worst place, you know, possible. You could be stationed in Antarctica, but have like the greatest unit ever that, you know, makes it nice. And then, you know, you can't really judge it off that. You kind of have to judge it off of what there is to do in the area. So that's usually what I have to judge best and worst duty stations off of, is whether or not, you know, there's a lot of good stuff to do in that area. If there's, you know, crappy, really bad on crime, like Fort Hood. I've seen some people say they love Fort Hood, but Fort Hood's got a real bad crime problem down there in Texas. So I don't know if you can really categorize Fort Hood as a top one. It might be on one of the worst ones because of how bad crime I understand is near Fort Hood. So Amir says, have you ever wanted to join special forces while you're in the Army? Heck no. They have a hard job. Those guys are hardcore. I don't, you know, I don't take those guys for granted. They do really hard work, and it's very tough for them to get to where they are. I have a couple friends that went through selection process of Special Forces and didn't make it, you know, because you can go through that whole entire school for Special Forces and not get selected to go to Special Forces. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you passed everything, graduated. If you weren't in that top tier percentage that they need, they're not taking you. And you knew if you want to go to the Special Forces again, then you got to try again and go to the training all over again. So that's the crazy thing about it. It's a tough thing to do. So I didn't want to go through all that craziness. Roll call 219, new sub. What was your MOS? I was an 88 Mike, which was transportation. So cool. Yeah, Bit Expert 13 kind of commented afterwards. I'm still catching up on the chat, by the way. And then Lead the Team editing right now. If you guys want to check out Lead the Team, he's got a YouTube channel. Also a great car salesman that I know here locally. So if you want to buy a car, go hit him up. You know, well, I guess you have to be in Colorado Springs, unless, I don't know, do you ship cars to other places in the United States? I'm sure that's an expensive thing. But he does a lot of cool motivational stuff. So if you guys want to be motivated, Lead the Team can be the person to motivate you to be a better salesman and all sorts of stuff. Go check him out. So, see, Amir, one day you will come with 100,000 subscribers or more. That would be awesome. My main goal that I would love to get to is 10,000 subscribers next. Would be a really cool, good goal, because once I move to 10,000 subscribers, I move to a next tier in YouTube, and that allows me to use YouTube space in wherever there's YouTube location, which the easiest one to get to would be the Los Angeles location, because we have flights here in Colorado Springs that go to Los Angeles for pretty cheap. So once I can get to that point, I can go, Southern Sun, thank you very much for the super chat. Again, you rule. You are awesome. Thank you very much. But I want to go and go to the YouTube space in Los Angeles and do a show. I think I would do, I don't know what kind of video I would do. Maybe do a live show like this, but from Los Angeles, from the YouTube studio, and then maybe have some other Army veterans that I'm friends with maybe join me for the live show, and we'll hang out together and do some kind of cool, elaborate live chaos live from Los Angeles kind of a thing. But once I get to 10,000, I can open up that, and that'll be cool. Let's see. Good. Let's see. Southern Sun says, good you get your hands on military grade MRE, because I need one for my video I'm working on, going to compare commercial civilian MREs to military MREs. That'd be cool. Be sure to hit me up when you do that. I would love to watch that video. That'd be cool. Today I did a photo shoot for a coworker's wife, and he hooked me up with a couple MREs. He recently got out of the Army, but he was also in Alaska, and he has the cold weather MREs, which are in a different bag. They come in a white bag. And me and him have to get together at some point in time, and he's going to do a video with me and do a video on how the cold weather MREs work, so you guys can kind of see how that works. It'll be pretty cool. He was an 11 Bravo. He was an infantry guy, also airborne. He did some high-speed stuff. He did a airborne jump into Australia, so he's got like foreign jump wings, all sorts of cool stuff that he can talk about. Well, we probably won't talk about that maybe in that video, because in that video he's really just going to kind of be showing me how the cold weather MRE works and how you cook with the cold weather MRE. So we'll do that in a video at some point in time. So the people is what made it amazing. Oh, you're talking about for the subscribers? Because I agree, definitely. Oh, no, you're talking about... okay, you're talking about Fort Irwin. People is what made it amazing, Fort Irwin. Yeah, I'd imagine, if you have good camaraderie at a unit, that's always what's best. Why, D. Doza asks, why aren't you political? I don't like politics, people, especially like at work, like I'm at work, you get so many people arguing back and forth about, who's right, who's wrong, and all this stuff like that, and I just hate that, I don't like to get involved with that kind of stuff, I don't care who's in the presidency, who's in office, who's governor, who's in the Senate, as long as they're hopefully doing a good job, which in some cases they're not. That's all I care about. I don't care if they're Democrat, Republican, that kind of stuff. And I don't like politics. I'll pay attention to the main stuff for politics, but I really don't dive into it, and I definitely don't talk about politics. I'm just not a political person. So it's kind of a crazy thing. So by the way, Lead the Team says he does ship. So if you want to buy a car from Colorado Springs, you can probably hit him up. Maybe he'll ship to you. I think there are some people sometimes in these chats that are from other countries. That might be a little difficult, I would imagine. If you want, hit me up in the chat. Let's find out where everybody's from, and we'll see what kind of diversity we've got today. I know sometimes we usually have a guy in the chat who's in the UK, and he's currently deployed right now. He's been hitting me up a few things here and there on some videos. give me some statuses. I think he said he was going to South Africa. Knights Templar, I believe, was the chat name, or his slogan name. So some people from the UK, some people Canada, a lot of people in the United States, probably mostly. From some of my statistics, usually it says the US is the majority of my audience, which cool. I'm sure that's probably the main people that probably want to know about the US Army, but other people are probably curious as well, so that's cool too. Let's see. You know anything about where the old guard gets deployed? I have no idea. I'm sorry. I would have to research it to look into it. I don't know anything about the old guard, so I don't know anything there. While you are live, what software do you use to broadcast? OBS or something else? Yes, I use OBS. That was a recent switch. Recently, I switched to OBS. I was before using the Elgato HD software, which was okay, but it doesn't allow me to do all this cool fancy stuff that I got going on here, where I can switch cameras and have all those cool layouts so easily, and then have like the live chat and all sorts of fun stuff and scrolling text down there. So I switched to OBS because it has so much more features to be able to do stuff with. So yes, OBS is what I use for live streaming. Do you know where your buddy was stationed in Alaska? What is the one outside of Anchorage? It's on my video for top 5 places to be stationed. I can't think of the name. I think he was stationed at that one. I'm not 100% sure though. And I think he was there for like 2 years, but I can't remember specifically which one it was. I really want to join the SEALs. I'm in fact training a lot for buds, but unfortunately I'm not a US citizen. I'm originally from Iraq. I'm just hoping for it. That's why I train for it. So right now it'd be really tough probably for you to try to do that. I mean, it's not impossible. It'd be a challenge, I'm sure, but that would essentially mean that you have to get a visa and all that stuff to come to the US, become a green card holder, and then go through a background check and all sorts of other stuff, and you can, kind of go through the process of joining the Army. It would be quite the challenge, but it's possible. Just it would be really challenging, especially to try to do like Navy SEALs and stuff. But so you go. Bit Expert 13 says the old guard normally gets deployed around the Tomb of the Soldiers or other historical military sites. So there you go. I don't know anything about the old guard, so I can't help you. It looks like the stream's kind of going back and forth on quality. I apologize for that. The government shutdown just screwing up the internet, apparently. So let's see. Ever watch the show on Discovery Channel, Surviving the Cut, documents intense military training, such as special forces? No, I'll have to look that up. That sounds pretty cool. I'll have to look that up. There was a cool series I watched a long time ago where they showed soldiers trying, or not soldiers, but Marines trying to make it into the Navy SEALs, and it showed what all the training was like for the test to try to qualify for the Navy SEAls. And that was a pretty cool series. I don't remember if that was on the Discovery Channel or the History Channel or what it was on. That was a really cool series. And then there's another one that was I forget what channel it was on, but it really documented like how EOD, the guys who were the bomb disposal guys in the Army, doing stuff over in Iraq and everything like that. And it was kind of like a reality show that followed these EOD guys around. That was a really cool show. But I have not seen Surviving the Cut. I'll have to look that one up. I'll have to check that out. What else we got? Shipped to Canada, Germany, and Norway. It's costly, but capable. So there you go. If you would like to buy a car from Lead the Team, he can ship to Canada, Germany, and Norway. Or he has shipped to those ones. So what are the different uniforms in the Army? Good that you asked, because I am going to do a video at some point in time. That is actually one of the videos on my list for doing a video on, that shows all the different uniforms. But essentially, you have the camouflage uniform, or the ACUs. They have 2 different patterns. One's about to get phased out in, I think, another year or so, and then they have a newer version that's the new one. I forget what they call that one, OCP or something like that. I forget. And then they have the ASUs, which is the Army Service Uniform, which is what used to be called the dress blues for me when I was in the Army, but it's the blue uniform. And then you have the PT uniform, which they've changed that one not too long ago to they have these black ones that are pretty cool, black and yellow ones. Before I got out, I had the gray ones, but now they have these black ones. But I will do a video at some point soon. It's on my list to show all the different types of uniforms and explain a little bit about them and everything. Richard Hansen, welcome to the stream. one of the moderators, because he's awesome, and he has been a subscriber to the channel before, when like that number down there was like 200 and something. He was a subscriber. So he's cool, so I made him a moderator. So don't do bad stuff. Richard will have to lay down the law. All right, so keep it clean. Keep it clean in here. Godslayer18, what's up? Have you ever seen German World War II uniforms? Probably. I don't off the hand know what they look like, but yeah, I'm sure I've seen them in Call of Duty, which everybody always wants to, compare stuff in my videos to. But of course, documentaries. I watch some documentaries here. I usually don't watch a lot of war documentaries, but I'm sure I've seen it. I'm in the infantry and want to become a Green Beret. That'd be awesome. That is, let's see, Green Beret Special Forces, right? Yeah. I always forget the beret colors and stuff. There's some of these red berets, or maroon actually, or whatever it is. It used to be black, but then everybody went to black, so then they changed it to a different color. And then they have Green Berets, which are the Special Forces, right? All right, where was that question at? And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Special Forces. And then I think the maroon one is the Rangers, which brings me real quick. We'll skip this one for now, the new show on Monday. I'll skip that one, but this is a good time to tell you about the next video I'll be doing. This video that I will be doing, most likely I have to prepare for it and do a little research on it and then film it and everything, but it'll be on the Rangers, how soldiers go from being your average soldier to being an Army Ranger, and what that's like, and kind of a little bit about the Rangers as well. So I have to work on that one and create that video, but that will be probably the next like tutorial type of video that goes up on the channel will be the Army Rangers. So look for that hopefully this week. That'll be coming up and all that kind of fun stuff. Why did the government shut down? That's a question we talked about a little bit earlier, so it's a quick answer: because they could not come up with a budget for the new fiscal year, or whatever the term was for the new budget and stuff like that. So until they can fix that, then the government is shut down. Again, it's not really shut down, just funding to a lot of things isn't being funded. So Scorpion W2 new multicam OCP. So that's what the new one's called. Yeah, OCP. I don't know about this. I didn't know about the Scorpion part, but yeah, OCP, I believe is what it is. I'm going to get off, Chris. See you, but thanks, Bit Expert. If you didn't already leave, if I already missed you, I'm sorry, but thanks. I'm still behind on the chat a little ways. Which do you prefer better, the BDUs or the ACUs? Probably the ACUs. The BDUs be good for jungle environment. ACUs, even though, I mean, I've seen like pictures where people are doing like kind of comparisons, and you can kind of see how the ACUs kind of blend in with more of urban kind of stuff. Definitely better than the BDUs do, but I prefer the ACUs. Plus, with ACUs, I didn't have to starch my uniforms anymore, because when I first came in the Army, I was wearing BDUs, and you had to be high-speed soldiers, and you had to starch your uniform to make it look all pristine and really nice looking and all that stuff. And I didn't like doing that after a while. You got kind of, I mean, it looked cool. Don't get me wrong. It looked cool with your uniform all starched with perfectly good creases in them and everything, but it's also a big pain in the ass. So, there's that too. Is it true that the current U.S. Army combat helmet, kind of like a German, I don't know how to pronounce that, covered with cloth? Kind of similar. I mean, I think it's a different shape. I don't believe the German kind of helmet is like that. It was the ACH, right? And the Army always has like special terminology for everything. I can't remember the terminology. Is it called the ACH for the Kevlar helmet now? Whatever, but it's got a cover that goes over it, and you can switch out the different camo patterns and all that stuff. So that's kind of how that is. Richard, I'll be coming to the Springs sometime in February, March. Awesome, man. You have to hit me up. Maybe we'll do lunch or something. Awesome. Green Beret is Special Forces, tan is the 75th Rangers, and red is Airborne. So there you go. Thank you, GEMX, for that. I always forget that. And then I think it was the back in the day, it used to be black. I think it was black was the Rangers before, and then they switched to the tan ones since everybody was wearing black. And still now too, you just only wear the black one in dress uniform. Where like when I was in the Army, you were wearing the damn black beret all over the place. So it was horrible. It was kind of a pain. So An MOS 88 mic, what do you do? That comes from Logan. So you just transportation stuff. Primarily, usually as a lower ranking soldier, private and specialist and everything like that, usually driving trucks. So you're essentially just a truck driver. And, you know, just driving all sorts of different ones from 5-ton trucks to really, really big trucks called like the Het that can, you know, transport tanks and stuff. And you're essentially doing that. Once like you get to a point where you're an NCO, a non-commissioned officer, or a supervisor, then you're kind of more of the supervisor kind of role with it. Usually you're the truck commander, a TC. And so that's usually what I was for like the last 5 years when I was in the Army, where I was primarily a TC, where you're the commander of that vehicle, kind of essentially. You're in the passenger seat, you are operating the radio, you're operating the JCR or the Blue Force tracker and all that kind of stuff, while another soldier is driving the vehicle and you're kind of in charge of that truck. So essentially that's kind of what an 88 mic does. Essentially other jobs too, because like as an 88 mic I also did a lot of ammo stuff. You actually have a specific job in the Army to deal with ammo, but a lot of times as an 88 mic you would kind of fall in that position because some units won't have that MOS in their unit to actually specifically deal with ammo. So sometimes I had to do it myself, and I had to do all the ammo stuff as an 88 mic. So let's see, what else do we have? Maroon Berets, airborne units, tab berets, or ranger units. Okay, yeah, we got that one. When do you think the right time to join the military? When do you think is the right time to join the military? I don't know if there's like a sweet time to join. Maybe it depends on kind of like the needs of the Army. Sometimes if they're short on a MOS that you're really interested in, then you can always have a good shot at getting a sweet bonus when you come into the military. Otherwise, I don't know if there's a specific time that is best to join the Army compared to another time. What happens if you drive a truck huge for the Army and accidentally crash it? Well, you're responsible. Usually the Army, you know, will cover stuff. But, you know, you're going to be responsible to a point. You know, I mean, like, so say as a soldier, you're driving a huge truck and you run into something on post. You know, usually the Army has a way of taking care of it through insurance ways or whatever, not like any kind of shady ways, but like usually like insurance ways, you know, gets taken care of. The soldier is not going to necessarily have to pay out of their pocket to get something fixed. There's gonna be ways to, I mean, they're not gonna, it's gonna go on kind of like their, I don't know what it's called, like their report or whatever. So it's gonna eliminate them from being able to get a driver's badge because they've had an accident, but a soldier's not gonna have to like pay for something if they break it because they, you know, drove a truck into something. But I mean, depending on kind of how the consequences of it or the ramifications of it as far as how they ended up, you know, doing that, then I guess it just kind of depends. So what else do we have on our topic? So I missed the topic of the new show on Monday. So let me talk about that for a second and we'll come back to the chat now that I kind of got a little bit caught up on the chat. So I talked about this on the last live stream that I was going to do this challenge. So Monday is the first episode. I have the episode already edited together. After I'm done with this live stream, then I'll do the upload process for it and schedule it for tomorrow morning for 7:30 in the morning. It's commonly when I post my videos for live on average. And it's a series that I'm doing on kind of getting back into shape sort of as part of the process. Part of it is just, it was a fun challenge to kind of try because there was people at work doing these 100 push-ups a day for 30 days kind of challenge, and I almost thought about doing that, but I thought it'd be better to give some kind of military style challenge. And I'm going to do Army PT in the style of Army PT. So in the video, I break down the rules of how it works, how, you know, what I'll be doing each day, how it works as far as when I do PT and when I don't do PT, even the uniform and all sorts of things. So the first episode is all done and will go up tomorrow, Monday morning, for everybody to watch. And you can see I do a PT test. I'm going to tell you right now, a little bit of a spoiler, I don't do very good. I do really horrible on this PT test, and that is because I don't work out. I haven't worked out in a long time. I haven't done Army PT in over 8 years, and I used to have a gym membership that I used to be going to the gym for a while, but the last time I went to the gym was probably January of last year before I ended up canceling the gym membership because I just didn't have the motivation to really go early in the mornings, and I didn't want to do it after work because there was other things I wanted to do after work, so I ended up canceling the gym membership and moving on. So I'm really out of shape. So I think that's kind of a good kind of thing where, you know, you get to see hopefully progression and how I will get better and get into shape. I don't know if I'll lose weight, because actually I weighed myself the other day and I actually gained a little bit of weight compared to when I first weighed myself at the beginning of this challenge. Now that could be muscle, I don't know, but we'll get a good kind of gauge of it at the end of this challenge. It's going to take me 6 weeks approximately to do it, but Monday, tomorrow, 7:30, the video will go live, and you'll be able to see episode 1 of this little series that I'm going to do. We're going to be doing Army PT, and we'll see if I get into great shape or if I quit or what. Hopefully I don't quit. Hopefully I get through the whole thing and make some great improvement, and you guys can see some stuff, learn some stuff too, because I'm going to be teaching a little bit about like how the Army does PT and some of the stretching and all that kind of stuff, the terminology and everything. So you get to learn a little bit as well in that video, but also, you know, see me, you know, wear myself out doing Army PT and stuff. So Monday, that episode goes up. It's actually broken up into 2 episodes. So Monday will be an episode, and then the following Monday will be another episode, which is actually the rest of last week. And that kind of gives me a little bit of a buffer room to get ahead of schedule, be able to edit the episodes together and work on that and everything like that. So next week for me is gonna be a little bit busy, but that's gonna be part of the episode 2, is talking about how soldiers have to get around doing alternate PT when their schedule doesn't allow them to do PT in the morning. So that'll be something that I work on. So that's a new show coming Monday, my 30-day challenge of Army PT. So make sure to look for that tomorrow morning, and you can check out my progress and see how I do and watch me struggle to do an Army PT test and all that stuff. So why does the military do parades? Because they like it. I don't know. I don't know why they they do parades. I guess different things, different events. I guess it depends. It's not like they just always volunteer to do parades. So I don't know. Do you anyone who is SF, or if you do, what do they say about it? I don't know anybody in the SF. I know people who have tried out for the SF, and I've talked to SF people. I don't actually know any friends. I don't have any friends that are in the SF, but I have worked with SF guys, you know, at my work and everything and stuff like that, and they seem to like it. The downfall about it is you're deployed a lot, so you have to do a lot of deployments. And when I do the video, I will do a video at some point too on special forces in the Army too, how soldiers join the special forces and what's all involved with that as well. But each special forces unit is assigned a location. So certain ones will be assigned to Afghanistan, certain ones are assigned to Germany, certain ones are assigned to Australia and all that kind of stuff. So that's where they deploy to. You know, it may not be a combat zone, maybe a pretty sweet place to get deployed to. But each one has like a special or specific location that they get deployed to, but they deploy often. So that's kind of the biggest gripe I usually hear about people who are in the special forces, is they're not home very much. They are gone a lot. So they lead the team, talking about working on getting back into shape too, and round is shape. It is. Round is a shape. I'm definitely out of shape. I would bomb a PT test. Plus, I was a walker for my PT test. Comes from Richard. Yeah, I did really bad on the PT test. You guys will see tomorrow if you guys check out the episode. I did really bad on that PT test. Is that in that first? Yeah, it's in the first episode. First episode has the PT test. So I did bad. My push-ups look really bad too. So if you guys happen to see that video, I'm sure I'm going to get flack for it in the comments. There's going to be people talking about how my push-ups look like crap. I'm tall. I'm 6'2". So I have really long arms, and that means I have a long ways to go when doing push-ups. And I probably did not go down all the way on all my push-ups. And I'm sure I'm going to hear about it in the comments. There's a good chance. So if you watch tomorrow's episode, then you'll see. You'll get a heads up on that. I want to be a combat engineer. I've watched videos on it before, but I was wondering if you could tell me more about that MOS and what they do. I don't know a whole lot about combat engineers. Essentially, they are the guys that are out there digging ditches, doing traps and all that kind of stuff. They will dig tank ditches and all that kind of thing to set up traps and stuff like that. So I know that part. Sometimes I think it's the combat engineers that do the MICLIC, which is a tracked vehicle that can shoot this like strand of, I think it's C4, and then blow up a minefield. I think the engineers do that. I think that's their job. So I don't know a whole lot about that kind of stuff. I don't know anybody who was a combat engineer, but that's, as an idea, a couple things I know about the engineers, digging tank ditches and that kind of stuff. So that's how that part goes, I guess. Do you know of any changes on the U.S. Army tattoo policy? What, did you notice all my tattoos? And that's what you're asking? I think it's still the same. I know they were lenient for a little bit when I was in the Army, and then they went back to the old policy of basically no tattoos on your hand and on your neck and on your face for sure. But sometimes they do offer waivers for that kind of stuff. Staying stream, man. I keep on catching over here saying that, you know, it's buffering and all stuff like that. So I apologize if you guys are getting really crappy stream quality. But I do know that you know, that kind of stuff. You can't have it on your face, can't have it on your neck, can't have it on your hands. And that's, you know, sometimes waivers can be given to soldiers. They can come in. There was a soldier I saw the other day when I was at work that was in there for training, and she had a couple tattoos on her neck. So she obviously was in and must have gotten some kind of waiver to do it. But mainly, you know, that's kind of the main thing. That's the only thing. I don't know. I don't think they've gotten a little more, I don't think they've gotten more lenient with it. They did at one point have it where you couldn't have, like, a certain percentage of your arm could not have tattoos. And that was the standard for a little while. That was after I got out of the Army. I think it was recently. And then, you know, they realized that, hey, in this day and age, a lot of people have tattoos, and that's a stupid policy to have. Otherwise, we're going to be excluding a lot of people with this current generation of people who are, you know, big on getting tattoos and stuff. So they got rid of that policy and went back to the old one of not having it on your hands or your neck or your face. So I believe that's how the current policy works. But that is probably also part of another video that I will do eventually. It is something on my list of a video to do one on regulations as far as like hair, facial hair, tattoos, and all that kind of stuff in the Army. So at some point when I create that video, that'll probably be included in there. So what is your biggest regret while being in the Army? I kind of wish I would have traveled more. A lot of times when I'd go on vacation and go on leave, I would simply just go home and visit family and spend my entire leave being at home, where I kind of wish I would have split that a little bit and maybe the first couple of days gone somewhere cool and had fun and then go and visit family during vacation, because it's, you know, fairly easy to do. So I guess, you know, I wish I would have traveled a little bit more. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of regrets. I kind of wish I would have gotten out faster, or gotten out sooner and didn't spend as much time in the Army, but then I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. What do you do for a living? That comes from Logan. I am an instructor on Fort Carson, the Army base near me. That was the last base that I was stationed on, and I got out of the Army from there and stayed in Colorado Springs, just outside of Fort Carson. This damn stream, man. I keep on looking over and seeing it kind of buffering and come back. It's distracting. Gotta maybe not pay attention. You guys let me know if the stream's doing really bad. But I stayed here. I ended up getting a job at what's called the Mission Training Complex here, and I teach soldiers how to use JCR, which is a navigation system. So that's what I do now. I'm an instructor teaching soldiers in the U.S. Army. That's what I do now. Sorry, I'm still distracted by looking over here to see how the stream's doing, because I don't want it to be all jerky and horrible for you guys and cut out. I had some internet problems today, so I had to just go. I usually have like several different kind of Wi-Fi networks on my own router at home that have different speeds and stuff like that, and some of the faster ones didn't seem like they were working too well today, and I didn't have enough time to troubleshoot them, so I just had to go with what I could connect to. So that would say, so Richard talking about that tattoo policy lasted about a year, the one where I believe talking about where you couldn't have a certain percentage, you had to have a certain percentage of your body that didn't have tattoos on it and stuff like that, so that didn't last for too long. And then Richard wishes he would have stayed in longer. Ugh. It was tough doing just 10 years for me. Didn't know you were from Bishop. I currently live a few hours away in Fresno. Awesome. Yes, I am from Bishop, California. If you look on my channel, somewhere is lost in the sea of videos, I have a drone video that I did in Bishop the last time I was on vacation, and captured some cool drone shots. And then the next time I go home on vacation, I want to do another one. So that'll be around like June or July. Then I'll go back to California again for vacation to visit family, and I'll have another drone video that'll go up on there. So that'll be that one. You'll see another drone video that'll be random, not really Army related, but that's kind of the why on that. Also related to a little bit different from a lot of my videos. The Spartan race is coming up pretty soon in May or March, I think, here for Fort Carson. And I usually like to do a little video of the Spartan race on post, because they have a kind of military theme to it a little bit. and that'll be coming up pretty soon, and I'll probably do a video there for that. So if you see a Spartan race video coming up in March or May or whenever it is, I think it's in May because I think it's around Mother's Day. That's why I usually do that. Stop in Sacramento, yeah, that's a little out of the way to try to stop in Sacramento to get to Bishop. That would not be on my route. We usually drive too, so that's a long drive, really long. Have you ever been in combat? I've been to a combat zone. I haven't really technically been in any kind of crazy combat as far as firefight wise. I've had a situation where I had to give some warning shots to some vehicles getting too close, and sometimes when we had some tracer rounds going over our heads because some people were shooting at some soldiers up on a tall building, but that's pretty much the extent of it. Nothing crazy. When I was in Iraq, I deployed to Iraq twice. So I asking also if I've ever deployed to Iraq. I went to Iraq twice. The first time I went to Iraq was in 2004. Yeah, it would have been 2004, and I was in northern Iraq near a city called Tal Afar, and I was there for a year. And then the second time I deployed, I went to Baghdad, and we were in Baghdad for 15 months. It ended up being, I think, 14, but still, it was long as hell. It was horrible. I was there forever. It seemed like it's no fun. But yeah, nothing crazy. I wasn't ever in any kind of crazy firefights or anything crazy like that. So we haven't got to this yet. I got a featured question that I was going to feature in here. This was a question from a viewer that left a comment on the last live stream after it was live and after it was posted and everything like that. And basically it's asking, because she is a female in the military, in the Army, and coming into the military, I think she said she was going to basic training. The text is way too small on my screen for me to read the comment. But essentially she was going to be, in the Army, and she has a husband that is not in the Army, and he's going to be kind of staying behind and living, being a stay-at-home dad essentially, and taking care of the kids and stuff while she, serves the country and is in the Army. And she was wondering if there's some kind of like support network, for her husband and everything, and how rare it was for, a husband in that situation where normally that's a female kind of situation, the females are in, where the wives are kind of in that kind of situation. So I was going to briefly talk on that a little bit. So there is a system called FRG, Family Readiness Group, and that would be the support system that person would have, whether it's a husband or a wife or whoever in the military. They usually have this FRG network that you go to these horrible meetings. I say they're horrible. They may not be that horrible to some people. Some people may love them. I don't know. But, excuse me. Essentially, they go to these FRG meetings to talk about, how to support one another, and especially like during deployments. That way, when the soldiers are gone on deployments and the spouses are home, who to talk to for comfort and how to get things done and just all sorts of things. Off the top of my head, I can't remember a whole lot of what goes on there. A lot of times these are mandatory meetings that soldiers have to go to, whether you're married or not sometimes. Occasionally units will do that, and you have to go to these dang FRG meetings. Most of the time, they usually just want the married couples to go to these FRG meetings. And that's kind of the network that people have to kind of, have this support system to help each other out for the stay-at-home moms or the stay-at-home dads, whatever the case might be. So that is what, is available. So there are some networks and some support groups to help those out that are married in the Army and have a spouse that is not in the military, that has to take care of the family when the soldier is deployed and all that stuff. And that's what the FRG kind of does. So I just kind of wanted to feature that comment in there because that was someone who asked that in the last live stream. If you're watching this after it was live and you have questions, make sure to leave questions in the comment section of the video after it was live, and I can try to get to those, either answer them on the spot in that video, or maybe even feature them in the next live stream, and we'll kind of do stuff that way too. Being shot at and blown up is not fun. I've come close to death more time than I wanted to. That comes from Richard. So yeah, that sucks. I got lucky, being in a position where I was in transportation and you had to be on the road a lot. Like I was on the road a lot, and you had the real high risk of IEDs, and I didn't run into a single one. I got really, really lucky. That's not always the case for everybody. I had a good close friend who was in a vehicle, and he got hit by an IED, and it killed everybody in the Humvee except for him. He was the only survivor from it and got really badly burned. I talked about this, I think, in one of my first live streams on this channel. But really great guy. If you want to look him up, Bobby Henline. He got hit by an IED, really badly burned, lost one of his arm or one of his hands, and from that he started getting really depressed. You know, thinking about the soldiers that he was with that didn't survive, and why was he the only survivor? So he was always a really funny guy when I knew him. I was stationed with him. I went to my first deployment to Iraq with him. He's always really hilarious. And from that, like his counselor that he was going to see for the depression that he was feeling recommended that he try stand-up comedy. And that's what he did. He tried that out, did some open mic stuff, and started touring the United States doing stand-up comedy. And I think that's awesome. So he's kind of poked a little bit of fun at it, even though he's got all these burns and stuff like that. He goes and sometimes for Halloween will dress up as Freddy Krueger. He'll do all sorts of crazy stuff. He's a hilarious guy, and he's doing stand-up comedy now. So Bobby Henline, if you want to look him up, great veteran who, you know, has gone and, you know, done some amazing stuff. So, what else do we have here in the chat? What else do we got? Logan, I don't know if you're asking Richard what rank he was or what rank I was, but if you're curious, I was an E5. I was a sergeant. And I always, you know, I feel like I don't really have to, I guess, but tell people that I was sergeant promotable. It kind of sounds weird, and I always hated how people would kind of use that when I was in the Army, but it's essential to know that I wasn't just a sergeant. I was borderline being a staff sergeant, but because points were so high, I couldn't make staff sergeant for points, and then eventually, once it got to me having only a year left in the Army, I was no longer eligible to get promoted unless I was going to re-enlist, which I wasn't going to re-enlist. But I went through all the stuff. I went to the board, went to BNOC, which is what it was called back then. It's called something else now. But the school, basically, to become a staff sergeant, I went to the school, graduated that, and everything like that. It's the only thing I was missing was I didn't have enough points, so I didn't get to become a staff sergeant. I was just a sergeant. What else? What is the most badass MOS? I would say the 18 series is my opinion, which 18 series stuff is Special Forces. So I would say those Special Forces dudes. I don't think they have females yet. I don't think there's women in the Special Forces just yet. I'm sure that'll be coming soon, since you can have women in the infantry and stuff like that. I'm sure it's a matter of time before you can have women in Special Forces. But 18 series, you have 18 Bravos and all that kind of stuff that are the Special Forces guys, and I would say that's probably the most badass MOS to get to. So, do you miss the chow and the defact? I have to admit it, but I kind of do. No, I don't think I miss the chow. I actually had this thing where I kind of boycotted the chow hall for like the last maybe 3 years. So I was in the Army or something like that. I don't remember, 3 years or so. I boycotted. I was like, you know what? I'm sick of the chow hall. I've been eating nothing but chow hall food. I would eat it a lot when I was in Kansas. It was all you had really in Korea for the most part. This dang stream. Sorry for technical difficulties if you guys are seeing it on your end, but I hated, you know, eating the chow hall. I don't know. I guess I just got tired of it. I guess. So I see the stream is being all funky over there. Apologize for the stream being bad, but so for like the last 3 years in the Army, I kind of boycotted it. Paying attention to the stream. How's it looking on your guys' end? Can you even hear me right now? Right now, do you guys hear me? I see it keeps on going in and out. So the stream is getting real bad. Government shutdown affecting my stream. This dang government shutdown. I always mess with people's streams. People trying to stream, trying to do fun stuff on the internet. Government wants to shut down and affect your streams. I don't see anybody say anything yet in the streams. What else we got? I'll try to still continue as normal. Hopefully it's not affected too bad, but even though it says over there on my screen that the stream is bad and it's going in and out. So, yeah, some lag going on. So I hear you, but there is some lag going on. Yeah. So we'll probably cut the stream here pretty soon anyways. I usually only do this for about an hour, and we're coming up on an hour right now anyways. Yeah, we'll just hit the hour mark. So we'll probably cut this here in a minute. I'm trying to get to some of your other questions. Hopefully the stream can kind of hang in for a little bit longer before I cut this off and we end it. Richard's saying 88's for the best. Yeah, I don't know. Chow Hall breakfast was the best. I don't like the breakfast wasn't too bad. Their eggs weren't, I don't think, real eggs, but Chow Hall breakfast could be pretty good. But I got sick of the Chow Hall, so for like the last 3 years, I kind of boycotted the Chow Hall and would just eat off-post stuff. So Southern Sun saying, seen a female soldier in the recruiting office who was a Special Forces tab and a Ranger Regiment tab with Airborne tab on her left sleeve, and her combat patch was 75th Ranger tab. So, all right, that's high speed. So maybe females can already be in the Special Forces, and I just didn't know that. But I didn't, so I wasn't too sure. So, cool. That's awesome if females can join the Special Forces. I was trying to see if anybody else said anything about the stream quality, since it keeps going back and forth, being really bad. Top 3 infantry divisions in your opinion? I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot of experience with infantry divisions, so I couldn't tell you which one is the best, which one is the worst. Gotta go. That's Jay. I don't even know how to. If you're new to the stream, I'm bad with names, so I'm gonna call you Jay. Has to go. Great hanging out. Take care. Hua. Awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, we're gonna end this here in a minute. I was trying to see, was there anything else I didn't cover on here? So we talked a little bit about the government shutdown. Told you guys some stuff, a little bit regarding that, a little bit more clarification. If they do pass a bill, that could still help. Fix things, so the soldiers get paid on time if the government shutdown is going to go for a long time, and all that kind of stuff. And then next show on Monday. So don't forget, tomorrow on Monday I will have a new show for me doing this PT challenge of trying to do Army PT and all that fun stuff. So I'll have that going on. And then the next video that I'm going to work on this week, hopefully maybe by Wednesday-ish, I don't know. We'll see, get that out. And I'll have a video up to explain how the Rangers work and how soldiers can become a Ranger and all that fun stuff. And then we've been doing the Q&A. So that's kind of the main gist of kind of all that stuff. So I'll answer a couple questions and we're going to cut this off. How does it work setting up a live stream? There's a lot of videos online doing it. OBS is the software I use. If you do some YouTube searches, there's a couple of great videos that explain how to use OBS to do a live stream. I would recommend some of those on there. I don't have any videos that show you how to set up a live stream, but it's not too bad as long as you have decent internet and it's not being crappy like it was being today and jacking up the live stream. Favorite officer rank? I don't know. Lieutenants are pretty cool. Usually that's kind of the point at where they're still pretty cool before they've gotten a kind of a big head and are really strict on stuff. So usually first and second lieutenants are usually pretty cool people as far as that goes. But as far as a rank that, if a favorite rank that I would obviously want to have a general rank, because those guys make some serious buku bucks. Richard asking, where's the vlog? I haven't done a vlog in a while. So I haven't really had anything good to vlog on. So soon, I do have some stuff coming up if you're unfamiliar with this topic, or not topic, but I've been doing some video stuff with a band called Saving Abel, which is a national band, kind of a southern rock band, and I've been doing some stuff with them, and they have some stuff coming up in February where they're going to be in town, and we're going to shoot some stuff for a DVD that I'm making for them, because I'm making a DVD for Saving Abel, and all that kind of stuff. If you want to Google them, if you want to YouTube them, they have a really great song called Addicted. But we've been working on some footage here and there for a upcoming DVD for Saving Abel, and so maybe when I go to do that, I might vlog some of it. I don't know though, and maybe that'll be the next vlog. It's, I think, the beginning of February. Otherwise, I just haven't been doing vlogs because I really haven't been doing much but making videos, military related, sitting around the house working. We're about to do a big exercise where we're going to be really busy and doing some crazy hours, so I haven't had time to do it then, and all that kind of stuff. So vlog will come soon, hopefully, I think. I don't know, as soon as I have something really good. But on that note, I want to say thanks for hanging out to all you awesome people. You guys rule. Again, special shout out to Southern Sun, who gave 2 super chats to me in this video. So far, still the only person that has given me a super chat. I mean, that's not to say that I need you guys to step it up and get on his level. No, that's not what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if you give me a super chat or don't give me a super chat. I'm grateful either way, just for you guys being here. I'm grateful for you guys being here in the live stream and having this discussion back and forth and asking questions and all that kind of fun stuff. So, but on that note, I do want to say thank you guys so much for joining the live stream. I am going to keep trying to do this every Sunday. So if you want to come back Sunday, come back Sunday. If you had a question that I didn't get to, make sure to come back to the video after YouTube has processed it and it's on the channel, and you can leave some comments down in there in the comment section and ask me some questions, and I can maybe even feature it on the next live stream. So even additionally, like if you didn't have a question that you left in the chat that I didn't answer, and later you think of a great question that maybe a good topic for the next live stream, make sure to come back to the video, leave a great question in the comments section, and you can check that out and all that kind of stuff. By the way, we'll do a little plug, because obviously you gotta do a plug. You know, I got some cool merch. If you want to check out the merch, ChristopherChaos.com/store. I think there is a sale coming up pretty soon. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll probably post about it. So if you go to Instagram, look for that Chris Chaos. I'll probably post when the next sale is. I think there's a sale coming up pretty soon. I think it's the 24th of January, where you can buy a shirt and get like 20% off. So if you want to save some money, you want to get a sweet Chaos shirt, you can definitely make sure to, you know, come back and hit that up and all that fun stuff. So thanks for hanging out, guys. You guys rule. You're awesome. Hopefully I'll see you next Sunday, and I'll have another video coming up soon this week. So thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so. I'm Christopher Chaos, and I'll see you next time. See ya.